Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a recent purchases update video. I haven't done one of these in just the longest time and I have a lot of recent purchases to update you on. These aren't super new for the most part. I do have one new item, but most of these I have had for a good few months. And if you've watched these videos before, you will know I try and categorize my purchases into hits, misses, and usually there's an in-between, which is true of this video as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. Before we get stuck in, I did want to let you guys know about a luxury sale that is happening now, and I think this one is live for about 4 more days. It is at 24 Sevres, so 24s.com. If you're not familiar with them, they're owned by LVMH, based in Paris, so very, very legit, and they do ship internationally, and they are having a 22% off discount code. It's not off absolutely everything, but they do have a whole landing page where everything is included, and there is an absolute ton of items from bags to shoes, belts, clothing, pretty much everything. I will go ahead and leave the details of that sale down below in the description section, both the landing page and the discount code you'll need to shop it. I do also have a blog post with all of my picks if you wanted to check that out as well. So again, I'll leave everything down below. I did shop the sale myself because it is such a good one and I just got my order through, so I thought I'd quickly share with you 2 other items I got. I am going to share these more in depth in another video, but by the time that video was going to go live, the sale was going to be over, so I figured you'd want to see them now while the discount code was still live. So both of these items are from Tom Ford. I've never actually shopped from Tom Ford before except for beauty items. So this one is a belt and I have been eyeing this up for the longest time, but it's really, really expensive full price. It's really expensive on sale too, but I figured with the discount code it was a really good time to nab it. So it's their beautiful kind of slimmer belt. It's in this fantastic taupe color, so really, really neutral, and it has this beautiful gold buckle with the T. I thought this was so nice, fits really well, and I just love the way it looks. And then the other item I got is this gorgeous summer tote bag, and I actually did get my Vuitton tote. If you follow my sale videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. I had to decide between the two. I couldn't really justify keeping them both. I know they're not exactly the same. The Vuitton one is more of like a basket tote, but I do feel like they kind of fulfill the same purpose in my wardrobe, and I really liked that one. I actually thought it was really cute, but then I saw this and I loved this one. I thought it was so chic and elegant. I love the colorway. It's a kind of cream canvas with a brown leather trim. I am absolutely going to spray the canvas 100%. I love the fact that it has shoulder straps as well. It is absolutely huge but very, very lightweight, and I just thought this was the loveliest thing. And with the discount code, obviously it was much better value too. But yeah, super, super happy with this. Really happy with both these items. I just think they're gorgeous. I'll leave direct links for both these items as well as the general landing page and of course the discount code as well. So first up for my hits is my Saint Laurent Lulu Puffer. This one is in the small size and I just love this bag so much, and for me this is kind of the best of all worlds. I also have the red mini, which I also really, really like, and then also my medium black one, which love, you know, my original Lulu Puffer, just such a huge fan of that bag. But I do feel like this one kind of corrects the issues I had with my black one, which is one, I do feel like sometimes my medium black one is a bit of a dark hole in terms of losing things inside. This one, because it is that little bit smaller, I don't have that issue as much. And also my kind of bigger issue with that bag is that I don't find it as suitable for summer wear. You know, it is quite a heavy looking bag, I guess. So for me, it's perfect for winter, you know, even autumn, but I wouldn't really want to use it during summer. Whereas I do feel like this is good in winter, but also in the warmer months as well. Not just because of the colorway, although obviously that makes a huge difference, but also the size as well. You know, I have kind of transitioned to lighter coats and jackets now very slowly because it is quite cold on some days, but I kind of ditched my heavy outerwear and I do feel like this looks much more in proportion, just really, really nicely balanced. And I just think it's gorgeous. You still have that beautiful supple leather. I think the gold hardware with the nude leather just looks so beautiful. On the inside, you do have the pocket on the back and you can still fit a decent amount in. You know, it's not absolutely massive, but I can definitely fit in all my essentials, long wallet, that sort of thing. But my items don't get totally lost because it doesn't have that depth. So I love this, such a great buy. I love the entire puffer line, to be honest with you, but I've been particularly really happy with this just because I love my black one so much, but again, I did just have those little nickels, and I do feel like this kind of solves all those problems. Next up is my Tory Burch Kira bag, and this is another really great buy. I've been so happy with it. It's such a beautiful bag, and especially for the price. And I would say that I think full price, if you pay that, might be a little bit much, but if you can get it on discount, which you often can, so I would always say to wait it out for a discount if possible, but with a discounted price, I absolutely think it was worth the money and just really, really great value. The leather is gorgeous, and it isn't like a super structured bag, so again, if you're comparing it to something like the Chanel Jumbo, you know, you are going to feel a difference in terms of just how sturdy and structured it is. You know, it is a very soft design, but the leather just also feels so soft and supple because of that. I would say my one little kind of niggle in terms of the aesthetics of the bag, I do wish that the gold hardware was maybe just a little bit less gold. For me, this is just a little bit more on the yellow side. I do prefer kind of more of a champagne gold, but that's a tiny niggle. I overall love the color. I think it's gorgeous. It's a really, really pretty kind of gray, but with like a hint of blue lilac. Just really nice, and also a surprisingly good neutral as well. I think also because I do wear, you know, a fair amount of denim, it just goes really easily, you know, no matter what you're wearing on top. The blues kind of complement each other, and it's just been a really, really great go-to. So on the inside, you do just have a few different compartments. I also love the organization as well. And that isn't always the case. You know, sometimes I find dividers quite annoying in terms of limiting the capacity, but because they've really weighted the divider more towards the back, so you still have that front space and you fit a ton in, but you do have that division if you want it. So for me, this is kind of the perfect organization inside. I love the fact that you have the kind of wider card slots on the front there. You have a zip pocket, you have a pocket in the middle, just a really, really well thought out bag. The leather lining doesn't carry through, so you do have the canvas lining, but I'm totally okay with that. I think leather linings are really overrated for the weight of the bag. I would always much rather have a lighter bag. And so far, this has just been such a winner. So really, really happy with this. I do think it's a beautiful style. I haven't had it long enough to really comment on the issues that I mentioned in my first video on this bag, I think, which is the smushing. Time will tell. A bunch of you commented about that, and some of you said it's not been an issue. Some of you said it was an issue, so I'm really kind of gonna wait and see. But so far, I have really been enjoying it. So for a contemporary line bag, I do think this is a really nice option, and one that feels a lot more luxurious than the price tag would suggest. Next up is my Louis Vuitton Empreinte wallet, and this wallet has just absolutely stolen my heart. I have been such a fan of it, and I've actually been using this in combination with my new Saint Laurent card holder, so I have been kind of using them at the same time. When I have a smaller bag, I use this one, and then obviously a larger bag, I have my longer wallet, but this is the one that I use most on a day-to-day basis. And for me, this is just kind of the long wallet to end all wallets. Like, it really is. And you guys may remember I had my Mulberry Dali wallet before, which I also love and I would definitely recommend. And it has a very similar functionality, which is why I like them both so much. Like, on the inside, there are just a ton of card slots. There is the same zip compartment, and I need a lot of card slots. Like, I have a lot of different cards in my life. So I love the fact that they're pretty much identical on the inside. Definitely my favorite kind of organization layout. But this one, as soon as I got it, I sold my Mulberry Dali pretty soon after, I think, just because I knew that as much as I really like that wallet, this one was just gonna completely take the place of any other long wallet in my life. It was just instant kind of love at first sight. And several months later, it's still been going strong. You know, I pretty much not changed out of it except to use a small card holder for a small bag. It's just been so wonderful, really hard wearing. You know, I don't have to worry about the wear and tear at all. If I get something on it, it's just wiped clean. I love the look of it. You know, it is still the Louis Vuitton monogram, but it's just a bit more subtle with the empreinte. The black just looks and feels so luxurious. The card slots are really easy to get in and out of. The zip is really smooth, and there are just literally no flaws I can think of. So would definitely recommend if you're considering. 100% worth the money for me, at least. I know these are really pricey, but I do feel like this sort of thing can last you just years and years, if not decades. It does seem to be really good quality, and I just absolutely love it to bits. And then finally, for my hits category, I do have my Valentino Roman stud bag, and I love this thing so much. And I do have all my kind of hits bags on a rug in front of me, and I just realized how similar they all look. clear or just kind of that puffy leather in a smaller shoulder bag style. Clearly that's what I'm going for at the moment, but this one has been so great. I think it's so gorgeous, and I love the fact that it is quite an edgy bag, and I can imagine this won't be for everyone at all, but I also like how it still has like classic elements to it, and I just love the multiple ways you can wear it as well. You know, I'm not so much of a top handle girl, but I love wearing this as a top handle because the strap is quite chunky, it makes a statement, and it's also just really, really comfortable. You do also have the chain as well, so you can wear it on the shoulder, you can wear it as a long bag if you want to as well. And I just think this is so gorgeous. I love the turn lock, definitely my favorite kind of lock on a bag, especially because, and I mentioned in a recent video that a lot of my issues with bags with magnetic clasps is that often you have to kind of really press them in order to get them closed, whereas a turn lock really eliminates that problem. You know, you're not gonna have to worry about affecting the structure of the bag every time you close it. It's just a really easy closure. So I love the fact that it's a turn lock. On the inside, it's just kind of an empty space. You have the zip on the back, then you have two compartments on the other side. It is fully lined in leather, but despite that, it doesn't feel like an overly heavy bag at all. The studs are definitely more on the bold side, so again, this is one that you'll either love or hate, but so far I've really been enjoying it. I do feel like it goes with a ton of different outfits as well. I have literally been wearing this with leggings just to go to the grocery store, but I've also, now that we've started venturing out a bit more, been wearing it with more dressy outfits, and I do feel like it is more of a dressy bag, but you know, you can make it work with leggings as well if you want to. I just think it's a really great neutral, especially in this color as well. I just think it's such a beautiful nude, and I've just been the biggest fan. So I've really been loving this. Everything from the look to the functionality. It's just such a fun, cool bag, and just one that I get excited to wear every single time. And next up is my Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the Emprunt, and I don't want to call this a miss because it 100% isn't, but it isn't quite as much of a hit as I was expecting. And usually I do not feature purchases this new in these kinds of videos. Usually these are much more kind of had them for a good few months kind of purchases. This one I think I've had for about a month now, but I have been using it very consistently ever since I got it. I always have a tote bag on the go, and so whatever tote bag I have on the go at that time is one that gets a lot of use, and that's been the case with this one. And I've really been enjoying it. I think it is so beautiful. I love the look. It seems to be very nice quality. The detail is gorgeous, and I just think it is a stunning bag. That said, I do have a couple of niggles that have already become quite apparent. One, I don't love the dark blue microfiber lining, or rather I do love it. I think it looks beautiful, but I'm already conscious that it might be prone to getting very dirty. I have been very careful with it, but it's just something that makes me a little bit nervous. So I do think I'm going to get a bag liner for it because I just want to preempt those issues. So that is one very small thing, but the other kind of more major thing is the weight. So this is really quite noticeably more heavy than the canvas one, and of course it would be because leather weighs more than canvas, but it really is quite a bit heavier, and it's like noticeably heavier as well. And I'm not particularly sensitive to weight on my shoulders. I've mentioned this before, but you know, I spent my school and uni years carrying around a ton of books on my shoulder all time, so I really don't notice heavy bags on my shoulder very much. I have noticed it with this one. It has been very apparent that it's just in a different league in terms of weight from the canvas ones. So for that reason, I'd say if you are considering this style and you were planning on using it for work, carrying around a laptop, lots of documents, even as a very fancy school bag, again, carrying around lots of books, I would definitely really kind of consider this bag and take the time to try it on to see if the weight is going to be an issue, because if I was looking for a work bag, I don't think this one would be it. It's just a bit too heavy for me. I think it would get quite uncomfortable. For me, for kind of daily usage at the moment, it's fine. You know, I've just been carrying around my purse, some face masks, you know, some kind of reusable bags, nothing overly heavy. But even with that, I've noticed the extra weight. So I'd say for day-to-day use, it's absolutely fine, but if you were considering it for a work bag, I would definitely make sure to pay attention to the weight if you're trying this on, because for me, the weight would absolutely turn me off it being a work bag, at least for me personally. And now onto my misses. Thankfully, I only have 2 misses in this category, and one one isn't really a complete miss, it's more of a kind of general lesson learned, I guess. But the first one is my little Prada wristlet, and I was really excited when I got this. I thought it was just a really nice kind of in-between style, and to be fair, I do still quite like it as a wristlet, but one of the things which kind of really appealed to me was the fact that you can use it as a little pouch, you can use it as a wristlet, and you can also use it as a shoulder bag as well. So I loved the versatility, and I kind of got this off the back of my Prada re-edition, where again, I love the versatility. I love that you could wear it several ways. What I didn't really realize when I first got it is that the handle drop, and I did know this about other bags, I don't know why it really kind of didn't occur to me with this style, but the handle drop is very, very small, and for me it's too small to wear on my arm, and this may be different for you if you have much smaller arms than me, but certainly for me, I think this looks pretty ridiculous as a shoulder bag, and it wouldn't be as much of an issue if the strap was completely removable, because I could use a different strap with it or a different chain with it, but you can't. You can only remove it on one side, so you can remove it to make it into a wristlet, which I love, but you can't actually remove this other one. Otherwise, I think it would be a really great versatile item. I do have my chain from my Prada re-edition, so I do actually have that one right here, and this is actually for me kind of the perfect handle drop. It does still have that kind of 90s vibe, which is what I wanted. I thought it was super cute, but just to demonstrate the difference. So you can kind of see the drop there, like it is pretty substantial, and that kind of, those extra few centimeters really make the difference for me in terms of it feeling like a comfortable under the shoulder bag and then just looking completely ridiculous, at least how I feel like it looks like on me. So again, it's not like a complete dud because you can use it as a pouch, but I was kind of hoping for something a bit more versatile. I probably should have tested it out a bit more thoroughly beforehand, and then when I realized it was going to be too short, I was like, oh, you know, I can detach this chain and attach it, but then the detachable strap issues. So, you know, not the worst, not the best. I do think that for the money, you know, you could probably do a little bit better. It wasn't thousands, but at the same time, it is just a nylon pouch, so much of what you're paying for is the actual Prada logo. So I was hoping for just a little bit more versatility. I do think that would have been corrected had they have just lengthened the strap a little bit, or alternatively made it completely detachable. And then last but not least, I do have my Valentino belt here, and this is the one where I mentioned that I didn't think this was a complete miss at all, just because I don't think there's actually anything wrong with its functionality. I did mention when I got my nude one, which is right here, that I didn't think I'd get as much use out of my brown one, so I might think about selling it, and that's completely true. I really haven't touched my brown one since I've got my nude one, but I'd also say more generally as a style, and one of the reasons why I wanted to mention it was I know a lot of you are considering buying a luxury belt right now and are debating the width size. I get a lot of messages about this, and for me, overwhelmingly, I found that my most used belts are my thinner belts. The thick ones are great, but I do think the thick ones are probably better in winter when you have just chunkier layers which just need something a bit more impactful, whereas certainly during the summer months, which is when I use most of my luxury belts, to be honest, you know, I do tend to team them more with skirts and dresses, and I tend to wear more of those items during the warmer months. I'm always gravitating towards my thinner, slimmer belt. So my most used belt at the moment is my Saint Laurent white belt, which I just team with everything and I love it. These are great too, but the thicker style does make it a little bit more limiting. I do think this might change if you're planning on wearing them with denim, but certainly how I wear my belts, again, dresses, skirts, using them to kind of define and cinch in my waist, I have found that I use my thicker belts a lot less, and that even goes for my nude one as well. I do really like my nude one, especially the fact that it is reversible. I do find that I get a lot more use out of it because it does have those dual colors, so I love it for that. But if I only had to pick one belt, by far I would go for my Saint Laurent one or any other kind of slimmer belt. I like these, but I don't really feel like they're essential additions to my wardrobe. Just knowing how I dress and how I'm teaming them now, by far my most used ones are my slimmer ones. So wanted to mention it. I do think I'm probably going to be parting ways with my tan one. I do still like my nude black one, but for sure if you were debating which kind of width of belt to get, and you do dress kind of similar to me, you do wear a lot of dresses and skirts, I have found my slimmer ones to be far more useful. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will include links to everything I mentioned from the sale right through to the items in the description section. If you have any questions for me, then leave me a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, please do give this a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.